Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Jason from Channel Prep 3PL, and you might have noticed that my channel has changed. I used to be the bearded dropshipper, and now I've rebranded this channel as Channel Prep 3PL. The reason being is because that's my new business. I have transitioned away from being a full-time dropshipper and a full-time e-commerce seller to an operator and manager of a 3PL. For those of you who don't know what a 3PL is, it stands for third-party logistics, and we're a service provider helping Amazon sellers and all e-commerce sellers with order fulfillment, Amazon FBA prep, merchant fulfillment, storage and warehouse solutions, and that's what I am doing full-time now. I made that transition about 8 months ago, so I've been at this for close to a year, and we're gonna be going on to our second year coming up this summer. So that's what we're gonna talk about today, is my journey as a 3PL operator and letting you guys know what it's all about, some of the common questions, frequently asked questions that I get, and kind of breaking down some of the reasons as to why I left dropshipping and being an e-commerce seller full-time and transitioned into this. So if you guys want to hear more about this, make sure to stick around to the end where I have all kinds of information. So if this sounds interesting to you, make sure to stick around to the end where I'm going to announce some of the future videos that I plan to make. I'm back in this full-time, so I really want to be making and curating as much content that's relevant to you guys. And remember, I do come at this from the seller's perspective. While I am going to be talking about some common prep issues, some common Amazon FBA issues, I really want to leave the floor open to giving back to you guys as much as possible. I've sold on all the marketplaces. I've been in this since 2016, and I really come at this with the seller's perspective. And so I want to curate the content for you guys in that way. So make sure to stick around when I do announce that. Smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, and let's get right into it. So let's first start out by briefly discussing what a 3PL is. So we're a full service 3PL, which means that we offer services ranging from order fulfillment, merchant fulfillment, specifically for Amazon, warehousing and storage, and Amazon FBA prep. We can also do Walmart prep. What it is really at the core fundamentals, we're taking products from a supplier and we're kind of an intermediary for those products and getting them sent into Amazon or getting them to the end customer. We're handling all of the picking, packing, shipping, inspecting, quality inspections. We do that for every single customer of ours. The purpose of a 3PL is to free up time. That's really what we do. We're selling ourselves as a time saver for the clients. A lot of Amazon clients, a lot of Amazon sellers get to a certain point where they've grown far past the point of doing their own prep work or their own order fulfillment. And it's not just Amazon. A lot of e-commerce sellers get to that point. And what is that point? That's a great question that people ask. What point should I make that transition to hiring out, contracting out a 3PL to handle all of this legwork? That is completely subjective. It depends on how much you value your time. And one of the things that I've realized being a self-employed person is your time is so valuable. If you're ever going to grow your business past the point at which it is, a lot of people plateau. If you want to get past that point, you need to free up your time, whether that's outsourcing, hiring, or contracting out work. And this is something that a lot of people should not be doing themselves as a seller. Why would you want to be focusing on prepping and getting shipping material and getting equipment to speed up, or filling up your garage or basement or extra space with all of these products? Why would you want to do that? A lot of people will say, well, it's going to save me money. But the cost savings is almost always less than your time saving. So you're going to be saving a lot of time. Let's say that you're doing prep work for 2 hours per day, 5 days a week. That's 10 hours a week. What could you be doing with an extra 10 hours a week? Let's multiply that by 3 for somebody who's 3 times larger. That's 30 hours per week. You could say, oh, I'm going to hire out and have my own warehouse. But why would you want to be focused on things that are not going to grow your business? It might help your bottom line in the short term, but it's not going to grow the overall expansion of your business. If you had extra time, you could be going and getting more wholesale contracts. You could be going and selling on other channels, multi-channel e-commerce. You could go and develop a better brand, or you could be spending your time with your family. You could be spending your time recreating. There's so many things that you could be doing to, once you reclaim that time, to not only grow the business, but have a better quality of life as a seller. And trust me, there's a lot of sellers out there, and then people don't talk about this, but there's a lot of sellers out there who, even though they're self-employed, they're working for themselves, they're spending so much time consumed every single day by the company that it's no longer fun, it's no longer enjoyable. They have mental health problems, they have anxiety, stress, all kinds of issues that come about. Nobody wants to talk about those things, and a lot of times it just comes down to planning, time management, outsourcing. And one of the fundamental issues in your business might be that you don't have high enough profit margins to contract out work for a 3PL. But by contracting out to a 3PL, giving all that work away, you can then take a step back and go find better products or go find better wholesale suppliers that can increase your bottom line, and therefore you can part ways with a little bit of extra profit. These are the types of customers that we really appeal to, or those people who are in that in-between stage. They didn't just get started, but they're also not enterprise level sellers. They've got proof of concept, they've had 3, 6, 12 months sale history, and it's a grind. And there's so much work that goes into quality inspections and dealing with inbound shipment receivals and making sure all of the products are there. There's no inventory discrepancies. There's a lot that goes into it, and making sure those products get put out in a timely manner. There's so much that goes into logistics, so much nuance that people don't realize. And if they could just take that issue out of their business and hand it off to somebody who only focuses on that, and which is what we do, then their life would be a lot easier, and they would probably grow their business multifold, probably 2, 3, 4-fold, if they were able to put that time, reallocate that time into growing their business. So some of the reasons that I stopped being an e-commerce seller myself full time actually has more to do with long-term sustainability. It's not to say that you can't have a sustainable e-commerce business, but where I am personally in life right now, I'm looking at things through a much longer time horizon. Everything that I do right now is focused on growing and compounding all of my hard work from yesterday onto the next day and the next week and the next month, etc. That's way more important to me than just making quick cash and reinvesting it back into the business. I want to be able to grow my businesses long term. And so with a B2B service like a 3PL, my focus is on delivering better customer support, faster turnaround time, competitive pricing, but not the lowest pricing. I want to be able to offer something to the customer into this marketplace, and I want to make it so that these clients have no reason to ever want to leave. And what this is really talking about is the LTV, or the lifetime value of a customer. Unfortunately, with a lot of businesses, you just don't have that long-term loyalty that I'm looking for. And that's really what I'm trying to develop out and to build off of, is customers who are going to continue to pay money over 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, 24 months, or even longer, right? It's no longer for me about making that quick cash. It's no longer about getting my product to market first or getting as much in a short term. It's more about how much can I get in the long term? How can I build this business so that it compounds on all of the hard work that I put in? Instead of this feeling like quicksand, which I'm sure a lot of people can relate to, proverbial quicksand, it feels more like I'm building a castle, or I'm building a structure, and all of the hard work that I have done will lead to something much bigger, the sum of all the parts, right? And that gets down to the root of why I stopped being an e-commerce seller. And obviously there's some other things going on psychologically. I got bored of it. You know, there's only so many widgets that you can sell, and there's only so many virtual assistants that you can hire and explain and train on customer support, and new software that you can implement into your systems to make it interesting. A lot of the challenge of it went away. A lot of the perspective of it, the new perspective of it, it all kind of goes away over time. And as a person who wants to keep bettering myself personally as an entrepreneur, I just wanted to get a different perspective on e-commerce and delivering value to customers. So those are some of the reasons. I was bored psychologically, but I also am looking at things through a longer time horizon and building out something more long-term than what it was in the past. And again, dropshipping is not dead. E-commerce is not dead. There's a lot of people who are absolutely making full-time incomes with this, especially since the pandemic. There's a lot of people who realize not only do they need to make some extra income to support their lifestyle or to support whatever, they also are realizing that there's a lot of money to be made. And what I've seen since 2016 is people who do this full-time or part-time are now legitimized, whereas in 2016, if you did this full-time, you weren't really seen as a legitimate business owner. And that's been a big transition that's happened in the last couple of years, and I think it's good. There's no reason to stigmatize people who are trying to bootstrap a business and make money online, although there are more businesses now than there were back then, so there's more competition, but the market share is far greater, so I would say it's probably the same opportunity level as it was back then. That's one of the things that drives me nuts is people who say, oh, there's not enough opportunity anymore. It's not like it was back then when you first started. That's not true because the market share is so much larger. All right, so that was my brief rant about why I left being an e-commerce seller full time and stopped dropshipping about a year ago. And those are also some of the reasons as to why Amazon sellers and e-commerce sellers could use a 3PL. So now let's talk about moving forward. This channel is going to be a new priority of mine. As I said in the beginning, we're going to be talking about a wide variety of topics. Most of them are going to be focused on very specific things, such as how to set up an FBA print station. I want to help small business owners actually understand how to use the equipment, how to make their processes more efficient, and how to strategize appropriately. And also really dive a little deeper about when to use a 3PL or how to do an LTL shipment versus an SPD shipment, or some new emerging marketplaces like Walmart, how to get accepted onto Walmart, how to place wholesale orders using Chinese websites like Alibaba or trade companies in China, how to get products landed, how to deal with customs, duties, fees. And I also still want to talk about how to add value onto your Amazon listings, how to rank well for a given product, how to optimize those listings with better pictures, better descriptions, better SEO. Those are going to be some future videos that I make, and I really want to have at least 2 videos, high quality videos every single week, but they're going to be really specific, and this isn't going to be a channel that's going to cater to low-hanging newbies, beginners trying to get their first $100 in sales, or a thumbnail of me looking surprised. It's not going to be about that. This is going to be mainly for rising small businesses, medium-sized businesses who already have some experience, already have some proof of concept, and how I can give information to them that's going to make their life easier. That's what this channel is going to be about. So if this sounds good to you guys, make sure to smash that like button. Give me a comment down below. I'm very rusty with this stuff, so hopefully I also develop a little bit better on YouTube. It's been a while, as I said, and I just appreciate all your support through the years, and I look forward to doing the next video. Thank you.